What is up, everybody? This is Lyle with No Hippie Barbecue. What I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be cooking this chicken in this watermelon. Now, I'd never thought about doing this, but I saw a reaction video by a guy named Zoe or something like that on Facebook, and I figured, you know what? He made it look bad, but let me see how bad it really is. Anyway, it looks like after doing a little bit of research on this is that when we're cooking this chicken and this watermelon is not going to really add any flavor to this, but it looks like this might have been a technique of cooking that was used in, possibly a third world country or somebody like, someplace like that, where they didn't have like a Dutch oven or, things of that nature. Anyway, we're going to try it out. We're going to see what's up. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be making this into some shredded chicken or some pulled chicken. We're going to be using to cook this chicken and this watermelon is we have a chicken, and this is about a medium-sized chicken. I have some spices from a company called Miner's Mix, and we are using their Poultry Perfection. I've used this a couple times. This stuff is really good. As a matter of fact, I've used a half of another bottle of this already. So if you're interested in this seasoning, run down to the description below. Link's going to be there. We're going to be using some oil. I happen to be using a sunflower, coconut, and avocado oil. And we have our watermelon. Let me move this out of the way. Now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be cutting this watermelon so that we can get our chicken in. One of the mistakes I've been seeing on the few videos that I saw when I was doing my research is they're cutting this watermelon straight across. So then what they need is like skewers or something to keep the top on while it's cooking. What I plan on doing, and we'll see if it works or not, is I plan on cutting down at an angle around the top of this chicken. So we're going to kind of, or not chicken, around the top of this watermelon. So we're going to kind of come down at an angle and go around like this. All right, let's see what we got going on. And hopefully this lid will sit right on the top the way I want it to. Boom, there we go. So this should be hollow enough so when I put this back on later on during the cook, it should be a perfect match right there. Now that I have that watermelon hollowed out, I'm going to go ahead and season up the chicken. Now, I think I have a pretty good technique on how to cut a watermelon, so I'm going to leave a link to that video in the iCard above. Take a look at that. I basically used the same technique to hollow out this watermelon here. Anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and hit it with some of this oil. And this is just so that the rub will kind of adhere to it a little bit. Don't need a lot. And I've already taken out all the insides of this. And now we're going to go ahead. Should have probably taken this lid off a little earlier. Now we're going to go ahead and season it up. And you can get pretty liberal on this. We're going to go ahead and add this to our skin. And that's not going to be part of anything that we're going to be eating down the road anyway. And like I said, we are using the Miner's Mix Poultry Perfection. Nice color on this. Not that it matters, because by the time we're done cooking this, this really isn't going to really have much of a really good appearance anyway. Alright, we got this chicken seasoned up real good. Now it's just time for us to get this chicken in that watermelon. So it looks like my watermelon cutting technique was on point. See how this lid fits on here correctly? We're going to go ahead and set this off to the side though. We have our chicken seasoned up, our watermelon hollowed out. I did leave a little bit of watermelon at the bottom just to create a little bit of a buffer so not a lot of liquid leaks out when we're cooking. So let's go ahead and get this chicken in. Now in the video that inspired me, they put like a lemon inside this chicken. We're going to forego that. I don't want an overabundance of liquid in here. I'm going to go ahead and get our lid on. And that fits perfectly. No need for any skewers or anything like that. This worked out exactly the way I wanted. I have my I'm going to be cooking this on my Weber kettle grill. I have that coming up to temperature. We're going to be cooking this probably around 350 to 375 for about 3.5 hours. Alright guys, so I got this grill humming. We're going to be cooking at about 350 degrees. I'm going to start checking it in about 3.5 hours. I do want this to be kind of a pull apart or shredded chicken, but I don't want it to just literally fall apart. So I am going to start checking it. Now this cook is all about the technique and not necessarily the cooker. The videos, or a couple of the videos that I saw where they made this, they actually did this in the oven at home. So if you're intrigued by this recipe, try it in the oven. I'm not sure if this is a hit or a miss yet, but we'll see in a few hours. So we're about 2 hours in on this. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. Alright, let's go ahead. Temp this right quick. Like I said, I want this to be shredded, but I don't want it to be completely like mushy. So it looks like we're alright. We're at about 115 degrees. So I'm going to be taking this to about 175 degrees. So I'm probably going to check this in about another, probably another couple hours. So we'll see you back then. We are about 3.5 hours in on this chicken, and I checked the temperature about, whoo, this is hot, about 20 minutes ago, and we were at 175 degrees. So that was kind of my target temperature. What I'm going to do now is just shut this grill down, take this inside, and I'm just going to let it sit in these juices for about an hour, hour and a half for it to cool off, and then we'll pull it apart and see what we're left with. So I've let this chicken cool down for about an hour. It's still pretty hot. Woo! And actually, it is probably about as done as I wanted it. The last video I saw, it looked like they really severely overcooked this chicken, and this seems to be shredding up just nicely. Get into some of this breast. Yeah, this is perfect right here. You know what, I'm going to finish shredding this chicken, and then I will see if I can get my boy in here, and we'll do a taste test and see what he thinks about this. So that is a wrap right there. What I think I'm going to use this chicken for is, I think I'm going to be making some like chicken sandwich sliders, something like that. So I think this is going to go well. Anyway, get in there, just grab a little fingerful and get a little taste in. Just had a chance to cool off a little bit. Mm-hmm.
Nice and tender. Good seasoning. Came out nice.
See what little Frankie thinks. Looks like she thinks it's the bomb. Can't leave Penny out. Not a huge watermelon taste or anything like that. One thing I will say is this is not a recipe that I would go out of my way to do. But you know what? If I was thinking about making some shredded chicken or something like that and I had a watermelon around, I'd probably do it again. Anyway, just had to try that out after seeing that reaction video on Facebook. I'd like to thank you guys for stopping by No Hippie Barbecue and checking me out, and Headgen Jr. over here. Anyway, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.